Playoffs? We're talking playoffs?
Get that stuff out of here. It's Southwest Bias.
Welcome into Southwest Bias, brought to you by our friends at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. You do you at Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Check them out today. I love them. And then we're live from Studio K here at HQ3 for PHNX, and it's brought to you by Circle K. I mean, you can see it right behind me. You can see it on the mic. It's brought to you by Circle K. Become a member of the Inner Circle today by downloading the Circle K app and putting a little information in there for free. Talking championships today, and we know the reality of championships and playoffs here in town. It's been difficult. Just making the playoffs have been difficult here in Phoenix for a while. We've had teams with big expectations fall short. We've had teams that had no expectations that surprised and didn't win at all. The last year's been pretty rough. But I've told you on this program that there is a hope. That there is a title contender that's been playing basketball all summer here in the Valley and has been playing it at the highest levels. It's the Phoenix Mercury, and they have been unbelievable this year. People weren't 100% sure what to expect. That was media, that was fans, that was kind of everything. Because when you undergo the amount of change that the Phoenix Mercury underwent over the last year, saying goodbye to legends, bringing in a whole new cast of stars, bringing in a whole new cast of people to help out on that bench. There is a lot that had to go into this year for the Phoenix Mercury, and they've lived up to and exceeded expectations from people. Their season's about to come to an end, but their postseason's just about to start. I'm actually heading out to the game tonight. I'm excited to watch this team. I've gone to multiple games in person. We've sung the praises of Alyssa Thomas here and how she should be an MVP and how everybody in the Valley should know her and know her name because of the fact that she is helping the Mercury play basketball the way we wanted our professional basketball teams to play here over the last few years. They've raised their level. Alyssa Thomas, Satu Sabali, the entire team, Kalia Copper, Sami Whitcomb, who's going to be joining us here shortly on the program. They all have taken this team to another level. And with the playoffs, we know that's a whole different ballgame. But they have home court in round one, and that's a big deal. Now, we don't know who the opponent's going to be, but there's a lot of opportunity for this Mercury team to impress in the playoffs, to make some noise, to potentially hoist their fourth WNBA championship trophy. And it's been an exciting journey. And I'm really excited to talk to Sami here shortly because she has championship experience. She's done it in Australia. She's done it in the WNBA. She knows what it takes to win. And I want to hear from her, what are the traits of a true winner? What are the traits of a champion? And what will it take? What will they have to do? How deep will they have to dig to make it happen? If you don't know Sami's story, it's pretty impressive. It is an interesting story, and we're going to get into it. But I think they're the team with the best chance over the next few years to win a title in the Valley, to win a title in the state. They're set up for success now and over the next few years. I'd like to tell you the Diamondbacks could do that. I don't see it with the injuries and with a potential work stoppage and all the things that are coming up for baseball. I'd like to tell you the Cardinals are on that path. I don't know. I was underwhelmed by game one. They got a lot to prove, and Kyler Murray has to take it to another level for them to be a part of it. The Suns are in a retool, and I think you're a few years away from being able to have that kind of expectation. The Mercury have a chance to bring us what we all desire here in the Valley as sports fans is a title, another banner. And I think that they're built to do that. Maybe that's just my Southwest bias. I want to bring in the mustache behind the Mac, Shane Diefenbach here as we wait for Sami Whitcomb to join the program. Shane, titles and opportunities here in the Valley. What do you make of it? What do you look at when you look at this? And do you see the Mercury as being that team that has the best opportunity coming up here?
I had to get the sun going.
I had to throw you a curveball.
Yeah. I mean, I think it'd be ridiculous to say anything otherwise. Like, it's the only team with a clear future and path to a championship, at least in my estimation, unless somebody proves you completely wrong. And they're the most fun to watch right now.
They are. I've had an immense amount of fun going out there to games and watching them play. So it's been a lot of fun to see what they've been able to do. I know we've talked a lot about Alyssa Thomas on the program and what she's been able to do, the triple doubles, everything. Satu Sabali's been great. Kalia Copper's been great. Sami is one of those glue people on a roster that just kind of galvanizes a team. I've been truly impressed with everything that I've seen from them. And I think it's interesting because ESPN had a feature on them. Matt Ishbia, friend of the program, or at least a guest on the program.
Friend of the program.
I'll call him friend of the program. Has talked about how it's the blueprint for what they want to do with the Suns. I just feel like there's something special going on there, and I'm really interested to hear what Sami has to say on that front, what it's like in that room, and as somebody that has so much championship experience, what it's actually like to get to that point.
We need a name for a glue guy for a player in the W.
How about a glue gal?
There you go. I was trying to get two out of the box, like a wheat paste woman.
Oh,
I don't like that one.
No, I don't like that one either.
I think glue gal's the best case.
We can ask Sami if that's a term that should stick, pun intended. Nice. There, but I don't know. Are you familiar with Sami's story? I was doing research and it's fascinating. She was a member of the Pac-10, like you are well aware of. You're a Pac-10er, or I guess you were a Pac-12er when you were at issue. Were you? You're not that old? All right. So you're not that young, excuse me. So yeah, she played there. Didn't become a rookie in the WNBA till she was 28. Did some amazing things overseas, in particular in Australia. Played for the Storm and won 2 titles there, and then plays in Australia as well. So really excited to hear about her journey and excited to welcome in Sami Whitcomb. Sami, so glad we'll get you in here. So glad to have you on the program. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me. Excited to chat to you.
Yeah, how was shoot around today? You guys have a good run?
Yeah, shoot around was good. Always good to just move the body in the morning, talk about who you're playing, and get some shots up.
I want to talk about your path to the W, because it wasn't the conventional path, right? You played at Washington. You were an all Pac-10 player, went undrafted and had to go overseas. What did you learn playing overseas before you got that chance to come to the W that really helped you make that jump?
Yeah, I mean, playing overseas definitely helped me. I would say prior to that, though, getting a training camp contract and being cut, that was actually that was incredibly helpful for me. It was very informing of, where I needed to improve and what I needed to, just get better at in terms of what the standard of the WNBA was. So obviously that was really helpful because I could take kind of that information and those lessons overseas with me and really be a bit more intentional and purposeful in what I was trying to improve on, right? So it was like, obviously the physicality, the strength, everyone talks about it. And then it was like IQ stuff. You have such a smaller window for, decision making. You can't really make mistakes. Everyone capitalizes on them. So there was a lot for me to work on. And it took me, a number of years to really, I think, improve and get to a point where I felt like I was, capable of maybe making a WNBA roster. And it sort of married with when Seattle ended up inviting me to come back. So, the timing of it, as much as it, like you said, it wasn't probably how I would have scripted it or, maybe a traditional path. It was certainly the one that was best suited, I think, for me to actually make a roster.
What was it like walking in and being a rookie and having Sue Bird in your locker room? Was there a lot of hazing when you're a rookie with Sue Bird, or is it just learning a lot from Sue?
Yeah, no, it's a lot of learning. I will say my first experience, though, was prior to camp. So I got to Seattle a couple weeks early. I was coming from Australia. I wanted to really acclimate, get on the time zone, just get comfortable, do workouts before, just kind of make the most of that opportunity leading up to it. The individual trainers, player development guys that we had. And I was doing it with him, and then in walked Sue, and she just sat down baseline at the court at SPU and just watched. I think she was there maybe with one of the other with the head coach or one of the coaches. But yeah, the coaches were putting me through it, and she just quietly sat down and watched. And that was my first, I met her after that, and that was my first sort of real interaction with her. And that was just, as intimidating as it sort of sounds, but also really great. I thought it was so cool that she wanted to come and she wanted to watch a workout, and then she wanted to kind of, chat to me and give me some feedback and stuff. So that was really cool of her.
You brought up the championships that you won as a member of Seattle. You've been also in championship locker rooms in Australia in your time playing there. What does it take to be a champion in women's basketball? What does it take from a team perspective and an individual perspective to get to the top of the mountain?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of sacrifice, I think, it does. I don't like that word because it feels like it's, you're doing something you don't want to be doing. And I think for the champions, for the people that have that mindset, it doesn't even feel like a sacrifice. But yeah, it's a lot of, time in the gym. It's a lot of time watching film. It's a lot of time looking after your body and recovering and prioritizing that stuff, I think. So as an individual, it's a lot of the unseen hours. And I just think there's a mentality that goes with it. I think, the moment that you meet people who have won, people who have been on teams that have won, there's just a different level of understanding that, they're about what they're doing. It's their priority. The main thing is the main thing for them. And I don't think that there's any sort of question with that. And then I think as a team, those locker rooms understood that as well. You're showing up for business, and you're really putting the time in. And I think that there's a collective understanding of that. Game to game, it can be a grind, but you are holding each other accountable. There's a sense of, that purpose all season long. And I think that's been true of the locker rooms that I've been in. Lots of fun still, lots of camaraderie, fantastic camaraderie, lots of all of that stuff. But I think ultimately when it's time for, the games and it's all of that, it's a serious thing.
You and the Mercury are about to embark on the playoffs here. When you look around that room this year, all your teammates, everything that you guys have accomplished, do you see that makeup championship wise that you saw in those locker rooms that you've won titles with?
Yeah, I really do. I think we've got this incredible blend of hungry young players that are really excited and really all about their role and show up every single day and work and set the tone with whatever it is. And then you've got this older sort of experienced veteran group that knows what it takes, but are also still incredibly hungry. And that really set the tone and, I think set that standard and hold each other accountable. And there's just this level of, I think accountability that, you have to have, and it has to start from the very top. And we have that, which is really great. And then I think that joy part, I think, you can't really overlook that, how important it is. And we've had that, from the beginning. It has been so much fun to play with this group and to compete and to get out there every day and kind of chase this, sort of goal. So I think having like sort of that blend has been really, really fun and really, really great. And definitely to me speaks to, and like relates to the other teams that I have been on, I think, that have been successful.
When was there a moment where you looked around and you went, this team has it? Was there something that kind of stood out to you this year so far that spoke that to you?
I mean, there have definitely been some tough games where we've had to really like come together, and we've had to even like, we've had performances where we haven't played well in the first half, and we've had to like come together as a group and like get over it and figure it out and play a great second half to come back. And we've done that. And then there have been instances where we've been without key players, and we've had to really like just lift and rise to the occasion and rise to the challenge. And we've done that. So there've been, I think, a few things. I think how we handle losses as well is an important thing. It's not just how you are when things are going well, but like when you have lost, when you have put everything into it and you come up short, like what's our mentality for the next game? How do we handle adversity? How do we bounce back? Like all of those things. There have been moments, I think, throughout the year, I can't, maybe name all of them, but there have been moments where those have been the things that I've been really impressed with, that have made me think, okay, like we're ready for like a playoff run, I think.
Erica Day, the host of our PHNX Mercury show, asked me to ask you if the ponytail has been the difference maker this year. I don't know what the context is, but she asked me specifically to ask you.
I think the context is I haven't worn a ponytail for most of the year, but then I started wearing it, and we did go on a little bit of a win streak with the ponytail. I would say. Sure, if that's if we want to hang on to something, if we're about superstitions and stuff, that's a fun one. She let us down, obviously, the ponytail in Connecticut, so I guess we can't really hold too tight to it. But yeah, I mean, I think the difference really has been late. Like I think we've locked in a little bit more defensively again, and that has been obviously like the key for us. It's been a part of our DNA. It's been a part of what has made us successful early, that we've hung our hats on that. And I think when we get back to that and allow our offense to play out of that, I think that's where like we're dangerous.
I've been pounding the table figuratively and literally that Alyssa Thomas should be MVP in the league this year. I assume you agree, but what's it like watching what she's able to accomplish on the court as a teammate?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to really put in words. And I think it really, like, she's just not valued enough, in my opinion, in that, like, it doesn't seem like people are really appreciating what she's doing day in and day out for us, and what she's done for this organization with, a lot of new players. And I think, people might average more points, but in terms of, I said, in terms of impact on both sides of the floor, with the ball, without the ball, like, rebounding, assists, scoring, defending, I just think there's nobody that's doing what she does regularly. And, I think she's such a hard matchup that like teams are really trying, sometimes they're trapping her, sometimes they're switching, like they've got to really game plan every single time for her in these different instances. And she's still doing it, right? She's still getting triple doubles. She's still impacting wins in such a significant way. And it's in a way that nobody has done it before. And I think maybe that's why it's like hard for people to acknowledge it. Like they so want it to be the league leading scorer and maybe rebounder or something as the MVP, which is phenomenal. Like it's not discrediting any of that. But I think what she's doing is so unique and so different that maybe it's hard for people to gauge the merit and the value of that. But to me, yeah, she's the MVP. I don't think to me, there's not a question in that, but, I can appreciate that this league has some incredibly talented players who are also having, really fantastic seasons.
I read that you're a coffee aficionado. Have you found a place that fits your love for coffee out here in the Valley yet?
Yes. It's new and it's only open. It was only open like Friday to Sunday. And I think I badgered them enough that they opened it an extra day on Thursdays, but it's called Indigo Room. It's actually attached. It's like on the back of, I think it's called Urban Collective, which is like a vintage store. And they are new. They just kind of opened up, I think, within the last few months. They're fantastic. If you like matcha, which it's not really my thing, but people love it. It's very good. I just love like their coffee in general. It's top tier. It's definitely been my favorite one. So Thursday to Sunday, I'm getting my coffee there.
Nice. Do you store up on it so you have it the rest of the week, or
I
just
honestly
get it
thought about that. I thought about like getting a couple extras like on Sunday so that I've got one Monday. I haven't done that yet, mostly because of travel, honestly. But I've been serious about contemplating that.
I read also that you and I have something kind of in common. I was a classics minor in college, which is about classic history. I know you're a history major. Is there something that you are just so fascinated with history, some event or something that you really gravitate towards with that?
Yeah, the classes I preferred and that I really loved was all World War II based. So I really loved that. I took a few specifically on that, even like more specific than just World War II, like specific events during World War II and stuff like that. So I really enjoyed, obviously it's an incredibly harrowing time and there's a lot of, terrible things that happened during that time. But I think that was the one that in terms of interest, in terms of impact on kind of the world and where we're at now and stuff, I found it incredibly interesting.
Do you still read that kind of stuff, watch stuff on that, or was that just kind of a degree that you got and you've kind of moved on?
No, I do still really enjoy it. I probably have less time to do that kind of reading just because it does take, you have to really be focused when you're doing that reading. And sometimes I need reading that can be a little bit more leisurely and sort of just easy to, kind of follow and isn't sort of as heavy. But I love like a good history documentary for sure. So I probably watch more of those than I do of the reading these days.
I want to wrap this up with a little bit more of a serious question, but I have an 8-year-old daughter at home, and I'll never forget the moment, I think she was 4, where she saw WNBA players in the NBA 2K game, and she said, "Oh my gosh, that's somebody like me. I can play basketball." And that moment has stuck out in my mind and held gravity. What does it mean to you to know that you get to have that impact on young girls stateside and in Australia when you play? And did you ever imagine when you were young that you'd get this opportunity?
Yeah, I mean, it's so important and it's such a big part of, why we're doing it, why we're fighting for this new CBA. It matters to all of us. I think that there is going to be a generation of girls that grow up and only know this, hopefully, only know, equal pay, fair pay, like all these types of, only know a league that, is sort of global in terms of its representation, in terms of its, visibility. So I think it's so cool. And it is really important to know that, I am a part of that in some small way. It's very cool. And I think, when I go back to Australia, it's really cool as well to have people say that to me and say that, and to talk to me about the WNBA and to talk to me about playing me in 2K as well. Like people have said that to me. And I think that that's something that I honestly hadn't dreamed of. I hadn't really considered. So it's very cool that, hopefully like girls like your daughter will be able to dream of that and will want that for themselves and for everybody else kind of growing up in this generation.
All right. I like one last one. You play for the Australian national team. Do you know our guy, Jock Landell? A friend of the program, Jock?
Yeah, I like Jock. He's great.
It's tough not to. He and I have a rivalry, though. So I'll let it slide that you know him. But
okay, don't hold it against me.
Best of luck in the playoffs and best of luck in the off season as well. Sami, really enjoyed our time and really appreciate having you on the program.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Good to see you.
That is Sami Whitcomb from the Phoenix Mercury. You can check them out as they make their playoff run. It starts next week. Really appreciate her for being on the program. We are going to take a quick break. And on the other side, Shane has a little something for us. It's Southwest Bias. We'll be right back. Talking about our friends at Mountain America Credit Union. MACU is what you might know them as well. And they have their MyStyle Lifestyle Checking Account. You want to get in on this. It is fantastic. Usually when you put your money in your checking account, you spend your money from it, and it's a cycle that just continues to go on and on, but it doesn't usually help you. There's usually not perks there for you. But with the MyStyle credit or checking account, they have perks that are here for you. restaurant deals, mobile phone protection, telehealth access, identity protection, loan rate discounts, and who does not need a loan rate discount right now, offers on travel, and so much more. Make my style your lifestyle at Mountain America Credit Union. Visit macu.com/mystyle to apply. Insured by NCUA. Membership required based on eligibility. Some benefits require a no-cost registration and activation. Terms and conditions and exclusions apply, just like in life. And our friends at Circle K. I didn't get a chance to stop there this morning. I know. But I got to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you I did. We had a busy morning, and I didn't get the chance to stop in. And I'm dragging a little bit because I go to Circle K not only for fuel for my car, but fuel for myself. And I am a member of the Inner Circle. And you know what that means? I got to save some scratch. When you sign up, you can save too. It's 25 cents off per gallon on the first 5 fills and 3 cents off per gallon after that. Then you're going to hit that next tier and you're going to be at that ESPO level. You're going to save 5 cents off per gallon. So join today. You're going to get 79 cents Polar Pops, 99-cent Frosters, and so much more. So you can join the Inner Circle today for free by downloading the Circle K app. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details. Shane, I threaten the people with a good time. You have one of my favorite games to play. It's Two Takes and a Fake, where Shane will share 3 different tweets or takes, and I have to sniff out which one is the fake take.
This edition comes from NFL Sunday, specifically Cardinals related. I think all specifically Kyler Murray related. I scoured the Twitter streets to find 3 tweets to try to throw Espo off.
The mean Twitter streets,
Very
as Johnny
mean.
Venerable would call them. All right, what's the first one,
First
Shane?
one we got from @Grimpo the Goat. Kyler Murray had a tummy ache before the game and got put on the injury report. What are we doing here?
Okay.
What did you think about that? About the illness that popped up late just because he was feeling ill?
Hey, I think we've all been there where at 4:45 in the morning, you wake up and you're like, something ain't right. Something.
I know,
ain't
but
right.
disclosing it on the injury report, I always think is funny. Like, is that something that's required by the NFL, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, and I can't imagine they said he had an illness. It wasn't like they said was up till 4 a.m. with diarrhea.
Well,
Like that would be a step too far on the injury report.
Yeah, it would.
I'm skeptical of that one just by the name. That feels like a name you'd make up, Shane.
Number 2 comes from Eric Quicks 6 saying, "Damn, they calling Kyler Murray a labubu."
I think this one's real. I believe this one's real. I'm gonna stick with this one being real.
What do you think about them calling Kyler Murray a labubu?
Well,
though?
I think it's unfair, and I think labubus are the most creepy thing I've ever seen, and the dumbest trend I have ever seen.
Wow.
And I just realized our connection is still open to the Mercury training facility. So if anybody there has a labubu, I'm sorry, but I think they're ridiculous. So, but I think that one's real.
This one comes from Coffee Picks, adding Barstool Big Cat saying, "Y'all got to put some respect on Spencer Rattler. He didn't get the win, but he did put the ball right where it needed to be in the biggest moment. He played better than Kyler Murray. Respect him."
Is Coffee Picks Rex Ryan's burner account here? Is Rex Ryan sending tweets? I'm skeptical of the first one and the last one, which means probably the Labubu tweet is the fake one. But I'm gonna go the first one was the fake. The other 2 are the takes.
Yeah, Grimpo the Goat isn't real. I just you got me. I got to be better with those.
Yeah, I felt like the name was trying a little too hard. Who sits there and and who's actually calling Kyler Murray a labubu?
It was pretty funny.
Yeah, grandma sweater, fine, I get that. Like, making fun of the tummy ache, okay, maybe, but that's a weird step.
But
there.
people put like there's pink sweaters for labubus.
I get it. I get that.
I
but
liked it.
We ain't hanging Kyler Murray off your backpack and making people looking at you like that, right? No. So, by the way, Jake in the chat, open your mind. Sometimes you can't just
open
talk
your mind and close
Cardinals.
your mouth.
Yeah, you can't just sit there and talk Cardinals all the time. Sometimes you got to talk about the team that's actually dominating in the city. That is another edition of Southwest Bias in the books. Big thanks to Sami Whitcomb for joining the program from the Mercury, the sharpshooting guard from the Mercury. Big thanks to Shane Diefenbach, the mustache behind the Mac, for yet another fantastic game. You can follow him at Shane Dief. You can follow the program at PHNX_sports, and you can follow me at Espo. And hey, remember, get over your hang up with the WNBA. It's here to stay. Ahoy, hoy.
We all silly like the mayor.